Hey there, Kingdom Women, Warrior Entrepreneurs. Welcome back to the Kingdom Revolution podcast, where we challenge the status quo of business building and we step onto the business battlefield to take back territory for God's kingdom. We're creating businesses that are making an impact here on this side of heaven, all without bowing to the algorithm. If you have ever felt frustrated by the constant demand to post, engage, chase trends on social media just to grow your business, my friend, this episode is for you. Because here we believe that social media is not a business growth strategy. It's just a tool in your toolbox. And you shouldn't be relying on these platforms that you don't own to build a business. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a client of mine, Stacy, an amazing woman of God who ditched the social media grind and chose kingdom collaborations instead. She went from only having 3 people on her email list, 2 of which were the same person, to 187 high-quality leads in just 30 days by hosting her own strategic collaboration event that I taught her how to do. I mean, how amazing is that? Almost 200 leads on her email list of the right people within 30 days. My friend, you can't do that on social media. If you have been wondering how you can grow your audience with high quality leads and ditch the social media hustle, this episode is for you. Stacy was one of my clients who utilized my Grow Without the Scroll framework. And you can actually download an exclusive private podcast where I walk through the Grow Without the Scroll, the faith-driven 7-step framework that's going to help you ditch the social media hustle while still building meaningful connections and exponentially growing your email list and staying aligned with God's design for your online business. No matter if you're a seasoned entrepreneur or you're just getting started, you can grow without the scroll. So grab that exclusive private podcast. The link will be in the show notes. Welcome to the Kingdom Revolution podcast, the online podcast for mamas against the mainstream agenda. We are redefining faith in online business to empower you, the Christian mama, to find and strengthen your roar, to clarify your calling so that you can create, grow, and launch a profitable, impactful, and scalable business by God's design without being a slave to social media and without sacrificing your faith and values. You know that you've been called to business and you want to do it God's way, not the world's way. A business that is based off the blueprint He put inside of you. A business by God's design, one that incorporates your testimony and inner fire to make a difference in this world. Like me, you don't mind going down a few rabbit holes, but you don't have to go down one to see that there is a war on future generations, a war on families, and a war against you, that kingdom warrior mama called to business, a war to silence your voice and movement. I believe your online business is your battlefield. It's how you get to show up and use that voice to create kingdom wealth and take back what the enemy has stolen. You have that inner fire to change your family's legacy, to take your passions, knowledge, life experiences, or even that hobby that you love and create an online business, bringing a heavenly solution down to an earthly problem. Maybe you have too many ideas. You're not even quite sure where to start. Or maybe you've been struggling for a few months, even years, duct taping it all together with worldly tactics and strategies that are just leaving you confused, overwhelmed, and questioning your calling. If that's you, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm your host, Kristen Duranci. I'm a wife, mama, ex-9-to-5er, and daughter of the King. I am a mama against the mainstream agenda who is using her voice and her online business to fight against the evils going on in today's world. I believe God is calling women back into position to a kingdom revolution, to the battlefield, to find and strengthen their voice, to stand firm for biblical truth, to be the change they want to see in this world. My mission battlefield? Restoring the family unit the way God intended, to bring mamas home so that they can be the one raising their warriors for the kingdom while making impact and income. So join me each week as I dive into honest conversations about my journey, tactical tips, spiritual and mindset strategies, along with the step-by-step plan to empower you to take that step of faith, to partner with God, to create, build, and launch an online business by His design without being a slave to social media. So if you're ready to say yes to all of this, you're not afraid to rock that status quo and be part of a kingdom revolution, then armor up with Ephesians 6 and put on the full armor of God, because you are a warrior for the kingdom, and He is going to use you and your online business to do some pretty amazing things here on this side of heaven. Welcome, Stacy. I'm so excited to have you with us today to talk about one of the lead generation strategies that I teach my clients. And before we get into that, Stacy, I'd love for you to tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and who you serve.
All right. Well, thanks for having me here today. I really appreciated it. So I am a homeschooling mom to 3 boys, one of whom is going to turn 14 in a few days, which is a little scary. And I am a mindset coach for Christian moms who want to break free of worldly expectations so they can live their most authentic life.
I love
which is something I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you help them do it.
So there are a couple different ways I go about that. I work in healthcare as my background, and so I'm very scientifically based. So I love research and back up all the theories and all that kind of stuff. So I came across a coaching program that really went into using subconscious techniques, and it was just amazing how the brain works. I think the brain is one of the least understood organs that we have, but the things that we do know are pretty fascinating. And making changes in the subconscious mind can make such huge changes in your everyday life, because we all operate pretty much on that subconscious program that's running in the back of your head. And to be able to let go of limiting beliefs and trauma, whether it's individual or generational, getting rid of all of those types of things, destructive habits, things like that, really helps us to get back on track and to really focus on whatever life we really want to live.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you bring your faith into it as well. And Stacy and I met. She was one of the collaborators at a bundle that I hosted. So for those of you who are listening to this case study, whether it is on the podcast or at one of the live events that I am hosting, you know that I love using Kingdom collaborations to grow my email list fast with high quality leads and then launch post summit, bundle, virtual event, whatever that is. And the first bundle that I hosted, Stacy was a part of. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to decide, hey, I like what Kristen did here. I want to do my own.
So to be very honest, I didn't even really know too much about you until I actually paid to be not a contributor, but just to participate in a bundle as just consuming the information. And you were one of the contributors there. And the bundle was about growing your business without social media. And I am not a huge social media kind of girl. My personal Facebook page, I don't think I've posted to it since 2017. I don't hate social media, but it stressed me out when I thought about growing a business where I had to be tied to my phone all the time and I had to post 15 times at X amount, whatever o'clock day. I just couldn't do it. And so it was stressing me out. And when I found that bundle and then I found you and I listened to your talk, I ended up on your email list. And then you had put out an email looking for collaborators to do a bundle. And I was like, well, right now I've got 3 people on my email list and no clients. So why not? It's something different. It sounds good. Let's give it a shot. So I literally had 3 people on my email list, 2 of which were the same person because she signed up with her business email and her personal email. So 3 email addresses, just 2 people. But after I contributed to your bundle, I grew from 3 people to 37 people on my email list, which to me was amazing. And anybody else would be like, oh, 37 people. To me, it was huge. It was a landslide. And I was like, oh, this works. And then you were running your bundles with impact. You were starting a new cohort. And I looked at it and I was like, I got to do that. So if I run it, what would happen then? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that part of my problem was also that I kind of kept my faith out of it. And I was really trying to block that out. And I felt like as soon as I connected with you, even just doing the bundle, it was just like a reconnection. And I was like, and I go, yeah, that's the part that I was missing. And so I've been starting to try to pull it in a little bit more, but that was really what I was looking for. You kind of check both of the boxes for no social media and being faith-based. So everything kind of worked from there.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you said, yeah, I only have 3 people. Well, 2 on my email list because we all start from somewhere. And I think I had a roughly 30 bundle collaborators in that first bundle that I hosted. So having 37 join, that's absolutely amazing. That's a win-win, I mean, all around. So I love that. And you are struggling with, like you said, growing your email list, getting the word out there of what you do so you could launch your beta founding member program. So you decided, hey, I have nothing to lose. And I think if I remember correctly, I launched my beta founding member program with my bundles with impact. And you were part of that cohort that actually got in at a special investment, doing it as a beta launch. So I love that I can we can take what we learned and we can create something and put it out there into the world and have an income coming into our pockets while we're helping those we're called to serve. So as you were walking through the Bundles with Impact program, can you tell us a little bit about, for those that might be interested, a little bit about the support that was involved, and then what was the results of your email list? How did it grow?
All right. So I'm going to actually start with just even the online structure of things. So I am probably the least techie person known to man. I somehow shut my keyboard off on my computer earlier today and couldn't figure out how to turn it back on. So if that gives you any idea, I am very intelligent in many ways, but me and computers and technology and software programs, we don't always mesh well. And the way that the course is outlined with the modules, and because they were easy to digest as somebody who's pretty busy between the kids and, an outside job and all that stuff, I could listen to the modules. I could sit down, I could do everything, and it was straightforward. I really wasn't confused about anything at all. It was laid out really well. And I just did exactly as you wrote in there. I didn't try to deviate. I didn't try to do anything. And it went really well. And excuse me. So through the program, we also had the weekly meetings, and that was great because that really offered a lot of personalized attention. I know I was in the beta program, so there really wasn't a lot of a competition. However, I've done other online courses, and you kind of get a little lost in the fold. And it was really nice. Like I could submit something and we could talk about it and just troubleshoot it. And you were always quick with an answer, whether it was through the Zoom call that week, or if I had a quick question, I could just send it on Boxer, and you're always very fast about it. Even when I don't expect answers on the weekends and stuff, somehow they pop up, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I was very appreciative of that. And so then I launched the bundle, and it was funny because, and I think I told you this at one point too, by the time I made it to the actual bundle live for that week, I felt kind of like I was missing something because everything was running on autopilot and I didn't have to do anything. And I was like, I really should be doing something. What am I supposed to do? but I didn't have to. And it was very well laid out. I had 30 contributors, which is what I set out to have. And they, I just really went scrappy on it. I only put stuff as an extra thing on my website, an extra page. And I went from my 37 people on my email list to 187, which, if I did my math correctly, is a 400% jump. I was doing percentages with my kids at that point, and I remember that being the percentage I came up with.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And I about fell over, and I was like, well, this really works. So it was, and it's not, and that's something that it's really cool because everybody's kind of working together. I'm sharing my email list with you, you're sharing your email list with me. And it's definitely a great collaboration because we're all helping each other.
Yeah.
And I know that actually, I think one of my Bundles with Impact cohort members, maybe it was her, I don't remember, but she was part of my bundle and her email list grew a lot. So I was happy to hear that it helped in that way. And then and my unsubscribe rate was I only lost 30 people after the fact. So I felt like I was still doing fairly well there.
Yes. Yes. It was positioned well, it was positioned strong, which is something that is super important to me, that those that participate in the bundles or the summits program, they have that position strong, and that low unsubscribe rate shows that, which we're always going to have unsubscribes. I mean, it just happens. It's a part of life. It's a part of doing business, and that's okay. And as you were saying that, Cassie, one of my clients inside the Business by God's Design program, she joined your bundle and she messaged me. She was ecstatic about how many leads that she was getting from your bundle event. So good job. And 100, I said 137 or 87? 187.
187.
Amazing. Almost 200. And you put together this event in about 30 days because it's something that can be done in 30 days time frame. I mean, there's nothing else besides maybe you're running paid ads, but you have money going out and colder leads coming in versus a bundles, which is a little bit more a warmer lead because they already know, like, and trust the people that sent them the email to come on over into this bundle event. That's just absolutely amazing because, I mean, you could post on social media. It definitely, I mean, when I hosted my first summit, I think I had less than 100 people on my email list, and I was doing that for almost 2 years. So I wish I would have known these strategies way back then because you can grow super fast. So thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I said, it was amazing. And that was really, I was starting to doubt whether or not I was even going to be able to have a business online. And it really showed me that there's other ways to do that. Maybe I'll end up on social media at some point, just in a very like lightweight kind of way, but this really works. And I was just surprised and ecstatic that that's the way that it turned out.
Yeah. Yes, because social media cannot be a core driver for business growth or email growth at all. So I love that. What would you tell someone listening if they are interested in any of these lead generation strategies? What kind of advice or what would you tell them to get off the fence? Because I know now you're like, I'm hosting a summit. I'm going to be hosting one, I think, in March of this year. So you're like, yep, this works. I'm going this route. What would you tell someone that's questioning, oh, do I have the time? Or, you said you're not techie. You did it. I don't know. Can I do it?
So definitely, if you're not techie, it's all laid out. It's very step by step. There's good worksheets, and between that and the online support from you, that is fabulous. If it's a time thing, I work outside of the house for 12-hour days, a couple of days a week. And then I come home on the other days and I'm homeschooling my kids and running them to things. And and I also have a husband and a house and all that kind of stuff. So if I can do this in early morning hours, like I think I did maybe like 2 mornings a week, a couple hours here and there, and then just kind of going in and out when I had to, you can do it. It's not, I'm not going to say it's not hard because it's definitely something new and it'll be a challenge, but it's definitely 100% doable.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we hop off today?
Pretty exciting, and I'm jumping into the Summits with Impact. So I want to see what I can do there.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Stacy. And thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. If you're listening and you're wondering if you could get these results with a collaboration strategy, my friend, yes, you can. If you're wondering if a summit, a virtual event, a bundle, or any other collaboration lead generation strategy would work for you and your business, I would love you to hop on a collaboration call with me and we can talk through what that might look like for your business. The Summits with Impact program is always open. I will put the link in the show notes. Once again, if you're curious about any other lead generation strategy, book that complimentary consultation call, and don't forget to grab the exclusive Grow Without the Scroll private podcast. That's it for today, friends. Real quick before you go, if this podcast has blessed you in some way, the number one way that you can thank me is to leave a written review over on Apple Podcasts. The second thing you can do is take a screenshot of this episode or that review and tag me over on social media in your stories at Kristen Duranci. And then I will share you in my stories and give you a shout out. This not only blesses me, but you are creating a ripple effect by getting this message into the hands of others that might need to hear it. And know that there's only one you. Someone is out there waiting to hear from you. They're waiting for your message, your story, and your solution to their problem. You are the expert they're waiting to hear from. I want you to know this, feel this, and most importantly, be this. Never underestimate the impact and power that you have been given through the Holy Spirit. Be blessed, friend, and I'll see you on the next episode.